Hello friends, this is Kier and welcome back to Pleasant Lost Tree, Cybertown Station. You already know what it is. So I am making a album cover reference, I guess. I'm gonna spend half the show finishing it and then I'm going to, I guess I'm gonna paint it. I lean into it. You gotta lean into your ugliness. Anyway, I just got this shirt from the thrift store yesterday and it's like immediately my favorite. I don't even know how much more I can do to it. I kind of wanted to talk about, because I'm considering letting my facial hair grow out, and every time I do that I have like a crisis of whether I like really want to or not. 1 second I could be like, I'm going to trim this right now. Literally the next second later I could be like, yeah, I want to grow like a 5-month beard. And I could flop between those so fast. It's very bizarre. I think that's just a weird mental thing of like me being me. It makes me think of some interesting things, because when I grow a beard, to me, even though I think with some like added stuff, like if I wear like more feminine looking glasses, nothing's real, like the jewelry and stuff, or like fun hair, whatever, like there's other ways, not just when you wear a beard you're like, oh, I mean, yeah, to like most cis people who don't know, they're like, yeah, that's obviously a guy, like dressed up kind of weird. I don't know, I don't like that being so easily determinable, but I trim my hair, my facial hair, like kind of short, but you can still see it anyway. I don't know, these are things that like I sort of care about somewhat more in the societal sense, but honestly, a lot of stuff to me, it's like too much work to mess with it and too much money, and I'd rather say I just don't care. However, especially when you get into things that are like traditionally more guy stuff, I guess, like growing a beard doesn't have to be though. That's what I'm saying. And I think that seeing people, oh, here's a good train of thought. Sam Smith coming out with they them pronouns and the reaction to it. I saw somebody I follow, Jeffrey Marsh, screenshot a Twitter thing that was like, send non-binary people an extra like encouragement thing today, because, you know, if people have seen the Sam Smith coming out and then the reaction to it, it's like, I'm gonna use the word triggering. It's funny. I mean, thank goodness somebody did that. Who was going to be the first large celebrity? I don't know if they were the first to do it, but like, who's gonna be the first to do that? And what's the reaction? I've been thinking about that for like years now. When is that going to happen? And it finally did, and as expected, people are just ridiculous. But also people are nice, but you pay attention to the ridiculous stuff. Anyway, Sam Smith totally wears facial hair, and also seeing people that are like feminine or femmes wear long facial hair and like be into makeup or just be more feminine to smaller degrees is really nice, because usually it's not like that in our society. There's not that little bit of leeway that other genders have, I guess. All right, I'm gonna start painting this. I don't know what I'm doing. So as you can see, I've shaved my face since the last time I was filming, and possibly have come to some more questions, at least, maybe not answers, about why that's weird for me, because I think I definitely connect the facial hair thing to masculinity, and though no, conceptually that shouldn't be a thing that's necessary to connect. There's also an interesting idea there about kind of like dude points, as it were. When I grow my facial hair out, I have something that signals to men that I am participating, doing something manly, putting in the work to grow a beard. There is something about allowing myself to be more gender bendy when I do have facial hair, because I feel like it falls too hard on the other side when I don't have facial hair. And that opens me up to more scary times when I have like no man points. And I don't want that allowance, but there is a privilege gained from having that allowance. So that's a weird thing that I never know how to deal with. And at the end of the day, I just say, whatever I feel like. If I want a clean shave, I'll clean shave. If I want to trim it, I'll trim it. And most of the time, putting in that 5 minutes of whatever per day or every other day is worth it. I feel kind of weird with a beard, though of course a beard could be feminine. That as well is an idea worth spreading. I do believe there's an opening up of that in our
society.
There is a harshness towards non-binary people because they are identifying as something else other than cis. And the train of thought goes that by doing that, they're further pushing stereotypes onto men and women and kind of emanating a wokeness of post-gender. I don't think most non-binary people are really about that, and obviously being non-binary is not about looks at its core. That's how it gets most talked about, unfortunately. So I know all that, and I also know that beards don't inherently have to be masculine, but I still don't really connect with having a beard on my face. And I think if it were easier to not have hair grow on my face, I would definitely choose that option. I don't know if that's like a human thing or a trans feminine thing. I don't know. I don't really think it matters as much as it might sound like it would matter, because for the most part I've figured it out. I can trim and I can shave. I think I'm just interested in why it's such a dividing topic in my own head. And honestly, it is easy to just connect it to being a non-binary person, but I understand on the outside that how that doesn't make sense to most people. Or that would just kind of come off as like, oh, so you're confused. Maybe, but I think a lot of things go back to how we fit into society. But again, I don't think that's non-binary people who are in that mindset saying like, we're so in the future, there's no gender's not real. Like, that's not really the case, and it's kind of hard to explain without feeling it, honestly, which sounds a little metaphysical, esoteric. And as a person who looks the way that I do with like piercings and stuff, I just like piercings and tattooing. As my look, I'm cringing at myself a little bit saying that, but I think for a lot of people, and not just me saying this, it's a truth that's not just people trying to fit in. It's at very least an accurate description of the reflection of you in the things that you do, the things that you like, whatever. It's very hard to explain, but it's hard to explain anything gender related. I would say it goes beyond biology, but again, I know what I look like. I don't want to be taking up space that's not mine. Sometimes that gets too intense to the point where I just don't want to even be out at all, or like talking about these things or trying to start a discussion online about these topics. I really have no idea how it comes off, but that's my aim. I just want to make a space in the infinite amount of space where people aren't already for people who look like me and feel similar ways. I definitely don't see as much assigned male at birth, non-binary voices online. You know, it takes a lot of courage to like show your face and like talk about stuff that you could get shit for in your own community. On the same side of that coin, I completely understand skepticism around assigned male at birth non-binary people. Like, as one, I totally get that, and I'm constantly digesting that and also realizing where I benefit from passing as a guy when I do. Male privilege overall, because it's real and it's a thing that I have benefited from and continue to, and probably will always continue to. I don't know, but assigned male at birth non-binary people need a space too, and there's so many different ways to be that. And of course there's people who are going to use non-binariness to hide behind and still be gross. Like, trash people will always act like trash. It's like the meme with the band-aid, you can slap anything on. It doesn't make you a better person. So, I don't know. Once again, coming to a complete non-conclusion about dividing division. I've been Kieran, you've been here. Thank you so much to our patrons, Aurora, Sun, and Adam. I hope you have a good time with the rest of your time. Bye.
Here's some special rutabagas, have a nice day.